Sheriff Todd Baxter, Madam District Attorney Sandra Dorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield, and I have never committed a crime. This, Todd Baxter, is an email I sent to you on June 12th, 2019. You've also received this registered mail return receipt in the documents I've sent to you. You've received this multiple times. I'm about to read to you. And I know you're going to want to lie about it because you're a liar, Todd Baxter. Todd Baxter, Sheriff, 955 Panorama Trail South, Rochester, New York, 14625. Attaches a Freedom of Information Law document with this language, quote, the cost of a surveillance device purchased with taxpayer dollars by Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter and affixed to a building at 2025 Penfield Road to monitor Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, walks through the parking lot next to the building. That's it. Right there. That's your Monroe County Sheriff Office surveillance device. What do you fail to understand about this? This is what you have done. This is what you expended taxpayer dollars upon. For me. You bought a camera for me. You spent taxpayer dollars for one New Yorker, me. I'm walking through this parking lot next to 2025 Penfield Road and 2041 Penfield Road for the 4,000th time. Just like my neighbors do. These are my neighbors. Just like people did after the fireworks at Harris Wellen Park on June 3rd when 200 people walked in this parking lot. That's only what I saw. The number's a lot higher. It's included Penfield High School band students. So, I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time. And Nayraj Shah's in his vehicle. He's screaming and losing his mind. I go up to him. I say, what's the problem? He refuses to get out of the vehicle. We exchange words. I tell him to fuck off. And I give him the finger, which is called exercising my First Amendment rights. You understand me, Nayraj? I hurt your precious little feelings because I gave you the finger. So fuck you, Nayraj. So he's screaming at me. And he goes to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office with this laughable concoction. Even though this is a laughable concoction, you, Todd the Fascist Stooge, do not laugh Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah out of your office. What you're going to do is concoct a crime for me because of these parasites. That the defendant on the above date location in approximately 1440 hours did not only enter or remain unlawfully in upon the premises of 2041 Penfield Road, Penfield, New York, by walking through the parking lot after being told through certified mail by police that he's not allowed on the property. Did you send this to the 200 people that walked through that parking lot after the fireworks at Harris Wellen Park? Are you sending this to my neighbors on Sanders Farm Drive? Are you sending this to every single person that walks through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot? All day long, every day they're walking through it. It's only me. So where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the laws, Sandra Dorley, and your laughable conviction integrity unit? Told by police. What's the name of the police that told me? Because nobody told me a damn thing. Todd Baxter. So there he is screaming at me. And what you're going to do, Sheriff Baxter, is that you will purchase this and put it on this Consumer Insights building in 2025 Penfield Road. If it's not called a surveillance device in your psychotic 1984, Todd Baxter, what is this called that you purchased with taxpayer dollars for me? Tell me. I'm going to say that again for you, you lying hack. If it's not called a surveillance device, Todd Baxter, what's it called? Email. Michael Radler, WTO, S. Alberti, Kathleen Miller. I don't know your first name, W, because I don't have the public employee payroll. I don't know your first name, S, because I don't have the public employee payroll. When you go to the bank, W, today, what do you think you're withdrawing? When you deposit your check, where do you think that money comes from? When you go to your bank, S. Alberti, what do you think you're depositing? When you make a withdrawal, S. Alberti, where do you think that money comes from? Your arrogance is astounding at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I've been demanding your public employee payroll for over a year. I have document after document after document using the instrument called the Freedom of Information Law demanding your public employee payroll or list of salaries at everyone at the Sheriff's Office in jail, and every single time you've refused to disclose this public information. Without taxpayer dollars, you have the same power to abridge my civil and constitutional rights as a teenage girl at your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. And it's your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters, but you always have your employees alongside the building. And here's one of them driving right by Wegmans. All I have to do is walk over there. If I left my residence right now, it takes me about 10 minutes to walk over there. I wouldn't be surprised to walk there alongside that building. Because you have no accountability and no standards. You, Todd Baxter, don't even know what your own employees are doing. What is this woman doing? Your taxpayer subsidized employee, I don't know the salary for, at Wegmans. What's she driving through this parking lot? They're at Wegmans. They drive in front of Wegmans. They drive past the little strip mall next. They drive over to Target. And they drive it around in circles. It's such a joke. You are such a joke and a buffoon. Email. People walking through that parking lot. This is what I wrote to you, joking buffoon Todd Baxter. You expended taxpayer dollars to buy a surveillance device and affix it atop the Consumer Insights cult at 2025 Penfield Road, East Germany, Todd. That language is right there. That's the language right there. And it's East Germany, Todd, because the former East Germany was a surveillance state and it had cameras everywhere. It's a surveillance device that you purchased with taxpayer dollars for me. So I'll ask you again. Here it is. This is your camera, also called a surveillance device. Now, what you're doing, since I'm mocking and ridiculing your pathetic existence, I call it a surveillance device. And then Lindsay Barron from the Monroe County Office of Mental Health is at my house. Did you, Michael Radler, call Lindsay Barron from this bureaucracy to my house? Did you, Kathleen Miller, call Lindsay Barron from this bureaucracy to my house? Did you, W. Tadeo, call Lindsay Barron from this bureaucracy to my house? Did you, S. Alberti, call Lindsay Barron from this bureaucracy to my house? Because what you're doing is you're using this pathetic bureaucracy to descend on me when you're refusing to provide public information to me. I'll give you another example of how this pathetic bureaucracy is used. I had to appear in front of John P. Lomenzo Jr., this 70-year-old hack, as an innocent man. So I'm eventually freed from your Monroe County Jail, and I do not know my sentence, and I'm going to be writing about that too when I contact the United States Attorney in Rochester. Because that's what I've been doing for years, working to the point where I'm going to contact the United States Attorney in Rochester, and he's going to love the fact that I've never heard Miranda. So, give me an example of the fanaticism of John P. Lomenzo Jr. He released Daniel DeLaus III in Penfield because Daniel DeLaus was observed on Anatel Luster over near 5 Mile Line in Penfield, trying to entice or win the favor of children because Daniel DeLaus III is a child rapist in Penfield. There is no more evil crime on planet Earth than the rape of a child. So, Daniel DeLaus III is brought before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. And John P. Lomenzo Jr. releases Daniel DeLaus III. He does not recuse himself from that case, even though he knows Daniel DeLaus II. This is a disgraceful conflict of interest for this 70-year-old hack, John P. Lomenzo Jr. He knows the father, and he's not recusing himself. And there's a Democrat and Chronicle story about this. where he admits that he knows the family and he knows the father, Daniel DeLast II. And he's also quoted as saying these documents are defective. For why he released Daniel DeLast III. Well, since this man is responsible for the abridgment of my civil and constitutional rights, I demand to see these defective documents. So I write a what? What do you think I write? I write a Freedom of Information law for John P. Lomenzo Jr. to respond to, so I can look at these defective documents. I leave my residence at 26 Sanders Farm Drive. I walk over the Bad Road to the library. And I didn't even know that Penfield Town Court is in the library, despite the fact that my ex-girlfriend, beautiful, perfect Laura, worked at Penfield Library. Because when I would go see her, I'd walk in the front. At the end of the hallway is the courtroom. A library in a courtroom. I mean, it's George. I have to call George Orwell for this one. So I write this Freedom of Information law. It's a simple demand. The defective documents for Daniel DeLast III. I want to see them. I want to see why you're releasing a child rapist in Penfield, John P. Lomenzo Jr. I walk over there, Michael Radler, S.O. Birdie, W. Tadeo, and Kathleen Miller. I walk over there, Perry Duckles. I walk over there, Kyle Steinbach. I walk over there to the window. I say, my name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive. Use a Freedom of Information law document. I want to see the defective documents for the case of Daniel DeLast III before John P. Lomenzo Jr. I leave. I'm there approximately 1 minute. I come home. And then I go, where do you think I go? I come home. I'm home for a little bit. And then I go to Wegmans Food Market's headquarters to get what I need. I'm walking down Sanders Farm Drive. And who's in front of my house is Lindsay Barron from the Monroe County Office of Mental Health with, who do you think she's with? Is a vehicle from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office there. I am there for approximately even less than 60 seconds at this disgusting, vile star chamber of Penfield Town Court with these two hacks, John Lomenzo and James Mullen, demanding public information from him. And John P. Lomenzo Jr. called the Monroe County Office of Mental Health. And then she called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and you're at my house. So I see this happening, and I don't want any part of it at that moment. I'm eventually going to go back to my house. I turn around, I walk the other way, and she sees me. So there's the vehicle alongside me. I just want to talk to you, Chris. I just want to talk to you, Chris. I just want to talk to you, Chris, over and over and over, this whack job. So I'm walking and I stop. And I say to her, what the hell are you doing at my residence? I just dropped off a FOIL, which is called a Freedom of Information law. I'm demanding public information. Blah, 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 blah from her. Incoherence. He's just calling Lindsay Barron to come to my house because he wants to say he called her. So, when I just accurately describe a surveillance device, it's a surveillance device and you bought one. So I'm going to continue to attack you and ridicule you and mock you. It's your surveillance device, so go ahead and pick the phone and call her or some other bureaucrat from a government agency to come to my house. This is your surveillance device I was on. I'm going to tell you how I was on it. You can lie about that too, because you're a collection of liars and degenerates at your Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Now, I have friends and family members that have dealt with your employees, and there is hatred in Monroe County for your employees. Hatred. My neighbor uses such profane language, and I have no problem using profane language. Fuck you, Michael. Fuck you, Kathleen. And this language is so profane that my neighbor used it to Monroe County Sheriff's Office and John P. Lomenzo Jr. He had it appear before him, that I'm not even going to use. And there's one word in particular he uses that I'm not going to use. That's how profane it is. So, John P. Lomenzo Jr. is releasing a child rapist in Penfield, and I have to appear before him, and he refused to comply with the FOIL. Just like you've been refusing to comply with the FOIL. That's why I'm telling you this. Your entire existence is tax dollars. Your entire existence is tax dollars, and I'm demanding your public employee payroll. The hypocrisy of Todd Baxter and Sandra Dorley is astounding and sickening. Send me the list of public employee salaries at the district attorney's office and sheriff's office. I have handled a FOIL in Washington, D.C. and in Albany when I worked for elected officials, and I disclosed. It's discussed, but you disclose it. And that's a difficult document to look at. Do you, Michael Rabin, know what Kathleen Miller makes? Do you, Kathleen Miller, know what W. Tadeo makes? Do you, W. Tadeo, know what S.L. Bernie makes? That's the way Todd Baxter wants it, so he can manipulate you. And how do you withstand such manipulation? How do you allow him to manipulate you in secrecy like that? Do you Perry Duckles know what Kyle Steinbach makes? And speaking of which, Perry and Kyle, where's your decency? Send me the documentation for my case in Penfield Town Court because I do not know the name of this prosecutor. The prosecutor talks in court. Isn't that right, Perry and Kyle? Correct me if I'm wrong. The prosecutor talks in court. She didn't say one word, not one sound, not one syllable. And then I'm on my knees in Penfield Town Court as an innocent man. How's that happen? How's that happen in the United States of America? Do you recognize the flag of the United States of America? Because you know who doesn't recognize the flag of the United States of America? Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Dorley, and Elliot Roth at this Consumer Insights business, and Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah. So, I'm walking through the parking lot. Nayraj Shah is losing his mind, screaming at me, and that's when Sheriff Todd Baxter goes and puts this surveillance device on the building. So how'd you get to my house? Well, he used a private citizen. You used a private citizen named Steve Desmond to get to my house, to get to my residence. I come outside. I stand right here. I say, they don't own that land. I walk back in my house. I'm here for 30 seconds. You know, Todd, I know you and Mrs. Fascist Stooge wouldn't want grass cutting at your house at 7 a.m. It sounds like an airplane landing. So, Desmond gets on his phone, and he's calling your Monroe County Sheriff's Office to my house. You're concocting this criminal contempt for me, and you're using a civilian to do it. How often in the operations of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office do you use a civilian? Steve Desmond, Broccoli and Lawn Care, who cuts the grass over here for these parasites, Nayraj and Layla Kumar Shah, and his pathetic Kool-Aid drinking shack, Consumer Insights, with Elliot Roth and Nancy Dooley and Rebecca Kerlack. Steve Desmond called your fanatics to my house. This is my correspondence to Steve Desmond. Steve Desmond, 2959 Brighton Henrietta Town Line Road, Rochester, New York. You're such a fucking loser that you spend your life cutting grass. I'll break the news to you about grass. When it's cut, wait for it. The grass grows back. You cut it again, and shockingly, grass grows back. Are you following me here about your pathetic little job? You're cutting grass alongside my residence at 26 Sanders Farm Drive that Layla Kumar Shah, Nayraj Shah, or Elliot Roth don't own, because each does not possess the required legal documentation to prove ownership of that land. Does that fact register in your bankrupt cranium? You called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office when I came outside for all of 30 seconds to tell your toothless fellow loser that Shah, and Roth don't own that land. You took out your phone, and immediately there are 6 deputy fascist stooges at my house. My question: what is the name of the individual you called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? You refused to answer. To answer is confirmation that you participated in this disgusting abridgment of my civil and constitutional rights. So I ask you again, what is the name of the individual who called the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? You refuse to answer. I'll help you navigate life. In front of me is your medication. It's your blue pill, red pill, yellow pill, green pill, white pill, purple and yellow pill, red and white pill, blue and green pill. Your green pill is huge. Take that pill now and fasten the electrodes from your electroshock therapy machine to your head. You require electricity running through your head to act like a normal human being, baby. Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, Penfield, New York, 14526. And you, Todd, you said require electricity running through your head. You know what I didn't hear from Steve Desmond, this grass-cutting loser? I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. Sandra, I have a photograph of you here in your nightgown. And here you are. And I'd say that you have some anger management issues at this moment here, honey. So I'm concerned about you. Are you thinking about your conviction integrity unit concoction? Perhaps when your prosecutors stand in Penfield Town Court and don't talk, and innocent people go to jail. So, I'm concerned about your feelings today. Perhaps someone can sing feelings to you, or maybe even better, Mandy by Barry Manilow, because that's about the greatest song of all time. But I digress. So, anyway, Sandra, I'm concerned about you here, with this look of anger on your face and in your nightgown, because obviously you're obsessed about Dan Gallagher. And I need to tell you, Sandra, that please, please, please stay away from bunny rabbits. You can't, Sandra, go near any bunny rabbits, all right? Especially this cute little guy. I mean, look, isn't he adorable? I mean, you know what he's saying to you right now? He's saying, I love you, Sandra. That's what he's saying to, because he's the cutest little bunny rabbit in the world. And Sandra, I'm concerned about you being in this film here with Dan Gallagher. I'm the fatal attraction here. I mean, here you are, on the film poster. So obviously you got some things going on, in your life, honey. So I would recommend, some counseling, some therapy to take care of that. And Sheriff Baxter, you've also been in a film. Perhaps you've seen The Godfather here. So here you are, right? Here's the film poster here. It came out, and there you are, right there in your tuxedo, and you're not petting your cat here, but here you are in your tuxedo there in the Godfather, and I'm concerned also, Sheriff Baxter, about of one of your employees, as you are the Godfather of Monroe County. I'm concerned about your employee, Sonny Corleone. I mean, see, he's biting down on his hands here, and then he's biting down, on the fingers of Carlo Rizzi here in Rochester. So you need to tell your employee, Sonny Corleone, not to be biting down on the fingers of anybody in Rochester, because you know what, that looks like it really hurts. So, and Madam District Attorney Sandra Dorley, I'm concerned about this Assistant District Attorney in your office, and you need to call him into your office and fire him because he needs to be fired. This is Assistant District Attorney Charles Manson, and he look at the look on that face, Sandra. I mean, this is your employee. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but he, in all likelihood, has the same type of mindset as your prosecutor that stood in Penfield Town Court and didn't talk. 'Cause he's not talking there either, because he's got some bad thoughts there, and he's saying to you, Sandra, helter skelter, and I don't want him saying helter skelter, to anybody. So I think you need to talk to him. And finally, Sheriff Baxter, since you're a bunch of gangsters there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Baxter, need to talk to Sammy the Bull Gravano, and you need to tell him not to bring an ice pick into the office there at 130 South Plymouth Avenue, because he likes to use in the ice pick in the performance of his duties and responsibilities on the job. And if he's using an ice pick on the job, that could possibly hurt another human being. So you need to talk to your employee. I do not know his salary for Sammy the Bull Gravano, and tell him to get another job. He can't be on the job at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, even though he's a gangster like you, Todd. So Michael Radler at the Monroe County Sheriff, the double dipper, who was a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee in your brilliant, distinguished career writing speeding tickets for 20 years. You're retired, you're out, you're done, sitting on your archie bunking chair, doing nothing. And what happened in the United States of America? Do you recognize the flag, Michael Radler? I'm sure you don't. It's a flag of the United States of America. It's the country that you live in, Michael, just like Sheriff Baxter and District Attorney Sandra Dorn. So as a double dipper, Michael, with your 2 paychecks, Michael Radler. Now, I'm going to help you out. I have a couple questions before I help you out, though, because I need the answers to these questions before I help you. I'm sure double dip you 2 paychecks. So, Michael, I've been a Mets fan my whole life. I love the Mets. My dad took me to the first game in 1972 at Shea Stadium. It's tremendous to be at the game with Dad. So that's my team. And I've been to 100 games at Shea alone, just Shea, before he tore it down and built City. So I love my team. This is my team, my forever team. I only have one team, forever my team. Do you understand? me, Tom Seaver, Darryl Strawberry. I love my team. I don't have a second team. All right? Now, I do not have a second favorite team like you, Michael. I just got my one team. I'm not a double dipper. So I don't have two favorite baseball teams. I got my New York Mets that I love my whole life. And I'm not a Yankee fan, so I'm not a double dipper like you. You understand me, Michael Radler? I got one favorite team, Michael, baby. Now, Michael Radler, I'm sure you heard of the coolest man on earth in the late 60s and early 70s. There's no doubt about who it was. It was Broadway Joe Namath, baby. So I got my Jets. All right, the Jets used to play Shea Stadium, and you Jets fans there at the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, remember they used to have that hideous field. They used to configure the football field onto the baseball diamond at Shea. I mean, WTF about that when you see that on the real. So I got my one favorite team. I got my New York Jets, and they won Super Bowl 16-7 versus the Baltimore Colts. All right, when Joe was running off the field in glory with a finger up there in the air, and he did guarantee it, by the way. I don't want to hear that revisionist history. So there's my team. All right, I don't have a second favorite team. I'm not on the Giants bandwagon. Because the Giants have won, 6 Super Bowls? I'm not on no Giants bandwagon. This is my forever team. My Jets of Broadway Joe, January 12, 1969. That's my team right there. I'm not a double dipper. You, Michael Radler. My question, as a double dipper, Michael Radler, do you have two favorite teams? All right, because I got my one team. I don't have two favorite teams. If I was a double dipper like you, Michael Radler, with your 2 paychecks, then I would have 2 favorite teams. So, now, I walk out here, the Sanders Farm Drive, where I live. I stand on Sanders Farm Drive, I say, all that land. I walk back in my house. Why didn't I hear Miranda? Tell me. Is it the practice of your Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter, just to descend on an innocent citizen, put the handcuffs on him, and take him to your jail without hearing Miranda? I have never heard Miranda. How does that happen in the United States of America? How does that happen, Todd Baxter? What's the name of that sergeant that has me in handcuffs on my front lawn, and what does he pay? The fact that you refuse to provide this information to me is astounding. And then this Deputy Meyer, I'm not confident in what her first name is. She's writing a warrant for my arrest? To walk through this parking lot, I've walked through 4,000 times. People walk through that parking lot today, all day long today. And Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah see people. I'm the only New Yorker out of 17.9 million that you will abridge the civil and constitutional rights for with a sickening arrest by walking through this parking lot. So, how come I never heard Miranda? You've descended on me twice with 2 concoctions. How is that possible? How is it possible to be an innocent man who has not committed a crime, never hear Miranda, the prosecutor doesn't talk in court, and then I'm deposited in jail just because 70-year-old John P. Lomenzo Jr. declares it? How does this happen in the United States of America, Sandra Dorley? Doesn't even matter to you. Doesn't matter to you, Kyle Steinbach. Doesn't matter to you, Ann Chase. Tell me, what's the answer to that question? Doesn't matter to you, Perry Duckles. You, Todd Baxter, are such a pathetic incompetent. You let Aaliyah Burden escape from Monroe County Jail. How do you allow a pregnant woman to escape? How does that happen? Pregnant inmate back in custody after escape at Strong Memorial Hospital. Pregnant inmate escaped from a Monroe County Sheriff's deputy at Strong Memorial Hospital back in custody. The 3-hour chase began when 19-year-old Rochester resident Aaliyah Burden escaped from soft restraint in the Strong Memorial Maternity Ward on Monday. Soft restraint? You're letting a 19-year-old pregnant woman who was in high school 2 years before escape from Strong. I'm trying not to laugh. I really am trying to suppress this laugh at your buffoonery and incompetence. How does that happen? What are the individuals responsible at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office for allowing Aaliyah Burden to escape? Did you discipline them? And I'm going to send you a FOIL for this. And it's going to have detailed questions. You know what you're going to do with that FOIL? You're going to completely ignore it because there's no accountability from you. You do whatever the hell you want. And then when you fuck up in the most laughable, extreme way, like this way with Aaliyah Bird, there she is. Aaliyah Bird, when you fuck up in the most extreme way, and then people like me demand answers for how you fuck up in the most extreme way, your response is going to be, fuck you, Chris. Oh, did you notice I'm using profanity on Todd Baxter? I take my wonderful little guy for his walk on this land that has no ownership for the 4,000th time, and out backs away from the parking lot as Nancy Dooley at Consumer Insights, and she stops. It's her car's idling her car. She doesn't drive away. Drive away, Nancy, and go berserk, go crazy, go nuts for the night. And I say to you, Nancy, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And this hurts your precious little feelings, Nancy. Fuck you, Nancy. And Nancy Dooley calls the Monroe County Sheriff's Office because I said to her, fuck you, Nancy. What the fuck are you looking at? And I'd love to be on the phone, Nancy Dooley, hear a recording of what you said to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I mean, when you called them, what did you say? I really want to know what you said. You dialed the number. After I said to you, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you, and fuck you, Nancy. So I'm going to be you, hypothetically, Nancy, driving away. Yes, I was leaving my business at 2025 Penfield Road, and this mean man, he told me to fuck off. He said, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And he hurt my precious little feelings. I'm about to cry because he used this language. Can you go to his house at 26 Sanders Farmer Drive? His name is Chris Chichester. Can you go talk to him because he hurt my feelings? What the fuck? It had to be something pathetic like that. And that's not an exaggeration what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to be funny. That's exactly what you were doing on the phone. That is exactly what you were doing with these fanatics. Fanatics, Todd Baxter. So when I use phrases like fanatics, extremists, and degenerates, this is why. You're coming to my house to tell me how to talk, Todd Baxter. What's that Deputy Savino's first name? He comes right up to me in my living room like this. What did you say to the woman in the car? I said, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And he tells me not to swear. Don't swear at me. To me, he demands to know my speech, and then he tells me not to use the language that he's there to supervise. What are you doing to me, Todd Baxter? Jeff Baxter, I have a photograph here of you with your girlfriend. This is you sitting here with your girlfriend, and here she is. You're towering over her, and you're telling her, to sit down, shut up, and be quiet. And in your military uniform here with the appropriate insignia of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. So here you are with your girlfriend, and it looks like you're hurting her feelings there. And here you are again, with your girlfriend, and you just in your own little world here. You're just walking forward, thinking about all the crimes you want to commit. And there's your girlfriend staring at you, and you're not giving her any attention. There's nothing going on. You look at that separation, that emotional distance, that emotional separation. There's some distance there between you and your girlfriend. Todd, do you ever hear that phrase? There's some distance. He's distant. You're being awful distant with your girlfriend. Yeah, Todd, I'm concerned about you, so you need to seek some counseling. And here you are again, with your girlfriend, and with this towering over you. You like to have her sitting down, and you're standing up. So you obviously always telling her to sit down and shut up and be quiet. So I mean, that's very disturbing, Todd. And here you are, you're falling asleep. Right next to your girlfriend. There you are on the couch. You're falling asleep right next to her. And there here you are, with your German Shepherd there next to your girlfriend. And again, this distance. And here you are with your German. Your German Shepherd's obviously the official, dog of the Monroe County, Sheriff's Office. So, and arrest is forever. I've never committed a crime. And you have concocted 2 crimes for me. I have to tell my family and friends about this, about the details of this. I had to. And they are appalled at you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, and your fanatics of what you have done to me. I am 54 years old. I know the difference between right and wrong. I have always known the difference between right and wrong. So, how is it a crime? Tell me. Contact me and tell me how it's a crime to get 6 of your taxpayer-subsidized fanatics When I go out here, I say they don't own that land and walk back in my house. How is that a crime? That is criminal contempt. That's because Neeraj Shah, in his accusatory instrument, demanded that I be arrested. And you don't tell him that he's a psychopath. This guy is a psychopath. I'm not exaggerating. Neeraj Shah is a psychopath. And you're too terrified to tell him that he's a psychopath. How is it a crime, Todd Baxter, to walk out here, stand here on Sanders Farm Drive, say they don't own that land, be outside for 30 seconds and walk back in my house? How is that criminal contempt? Tell me, Sheriff Todd Baxter. It's going to get even worse for me. Your employees, this Deputy Meyer, what's her first name and what she paid? Don't know what a crime is. This sergeant at the Panorama Trail, what's his full name and what's he paid? Doesn't know what a crime is. And Andrew Reale doesn't know what a crime is. Where's the United States of America on a map, Todd Baxter? Where's the United States of America on a map, Sandra Dorley? Where's the United States of America on a map, Neeraj Shah? Where's the United States of America on a map, Layla Kumar Shah? Where's the United States of America on a map, Ellie Roth? Where's the United States of America on a map, Nancy Dooley? This should never happen in the United States of America, ever. To an innocent citizen. I go to the now defunct PW Fitness in Penfield. I'm at the back of the gym. Up walks to me Jermaine Benman, the gym psychopath. He motions like this for me to get off the machine. I'm on the apparatus. I lean back to continue the exercise of 3 sets of 10. Jermaine Benman stands over me. He punches down, and my head snaps back. And as Benman began to walk away, what I should have done is start a vicious fight with Jermaine Benman right there at the gym. I should have gouged him in the eyes, stomped on his testicles, choked him out, pounded his bald head, done anything to this thug to prevent what's going to happen to me when Andrew Reale shows up. How much is Andrew Reale paid to do this to me? Do I have a right, Sheriff Todd Baxter, to know the salary of Andrew Reale? So, what is Andrew Reale paid? You know how I know what Andrew Reale's paid? You comply with the Freedom of Information Law document I'm sending to you in this YouTube. Send me a list of the salaries of everyone at the Monroe County Jail. We go outside. I sit in the back seat of the Monroe County Sheriff's vehicle of Andrew Reale. Reale's coaching Benman what to say in front of me. Coaching Benman what to say. Your taxpayer-subsidized employee, Andrew Reale, is going to concoct harassment second from me. He walks over to the side of the vehicle with Jermaine Benman, and Jermaine Benman says to me, I want to press charges against you. And that's how Andrew Reale concocts harassment second. Hypothetically, if I am guilty of harassment second, there is a victim, because there is a victim I am harassing. So what's the name of the victim I am harassing if I'm guilty of harassment second? Is it Jermaine Benman? If I'm guilty of harassment second, there's a victim, Todd Baxter. Who's the victim? You can't answer that question because there is no victim. These are the two most disgusting pieces of paper I've ever seen in my life. I have never committed a crime, Todd Baxter and Sandra Dorley. Who took this picture? These are your employees underwater in a pool. Who took it? Is this a private event with your Monroe County Sheriff Office employees? If it is, then it has finality. It's on your Facebook page. Did you expend taxpayer dollars to hire a photographer to take this photograph? Was this done during normal working business hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, where they're supposed to be on the job? What's the answer to that question? You refuse to answer because there's no accountability from you. You do whatever the hell you want, Todd Baxter. And when it's buffoonery and stoogism like this buffoonery and stoogism, and I'm demanding to know if you expended taxpayer dollars for this. You refuse to answer. You do whatever the hell you want, Todd Baxter. I'm going to continue to contact you, Sheriff Baxter, and when I do, open your mail. I'm demanding your public employee payroll. I'm demanding to know the salaries for every public employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And I'm going to contact you, Madam District Attorney, too. Why are you refusing to disclose public information to me? I'm not demanding information about an ongoing investigation or the internal operations of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office or the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. I'm not demanding how you prosecute an individual in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office or an ongoing case, Sandra Dorley. I'm demanding public information from you. Why are you refusing to disclose your public employee salaries to me? I have been using this instrument, the Freedom of Information Law, for over a year. And every single time, 20 plus times for each of your offices, you've refused. You don't even want to open your mail. How is it that I haven't committed a crime? I don't hear Miranda. The prosecutor doesn't talk in court. And then I'm in an orange jumpsuit at Monroe County Jail.